in 2018, I was on a business trip. Let me back up a little bit. I've been very healthy all my life.
Yes.
Hardly got any colds or flus or anything. I've been very blessed with a good health.
Yes.
Never had any surgery. Absolutely nothing. No broken bones, no nothing. And I play football and I play basketball and I play a lot of things and nothing happened to me. Thank God. 2018, I was on a business trip in Louisiana, and I started feeling different, weird, like I couldn't breathe. To make a long story short, I got a heart attack, and I ended up in the hospital. And all I was thinking is, I want whoever doctor to come here, give me a shot. So I can go back to my hotel, take a shower, and go back and take care of business.
Get back to work.
Get back to work, because I was doing something that it was going to get me through the next 3 months of all the payments.
Okay.
And that shipment, it was so important to me that I was so wrong that at that moment it was more important that in all honesty, that my whole life I wasn't even paying attention to the other side. So it didn't happen exactly like that, but it did. I mean, the doctor came, they gave me some shots, and then he said, "There's something very wrong with you. We need to run some tests on your heart."
And you've not had any heart issues before that?
No.
Okay.
And I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm in this little tiny town in Louisiana near the coast.
And you're not even near home. So.
No. And I'm like, I'm not staying here. I'm not, forget it. Thank you, though. Can you just do something for me so I can leave the hospital?
And get back to work.
He's like, I am going to do it. You're going to sign a release, but please promise me. Do something for yourself. At the moment you get back to Houston, go to the doctor. And I did. So I went, did what I just told you, finished my deal.
Wow.
Came home.
Okay.
And when I come home, I took a shower. I noticed this huge bruise in my stomach. Like big bruise. Yes, because he shot me straight in my stomach. And then, and I said, okay, I don't have a way out but telling my wife what happened, because I didn't tell her anything.
So she had no idea that the doctor told you need to get looked at.
No,
right away.
I was so wrong. I was just thinking I can solve all of this by myself. See, that's the problem with stubbornness, that you fight with that stubbornness most of your life. Thinking that you're God, thinking that you can take his position. How wrong I was.
Wow.
So I come back. Of course, I tell my wife. Of course, she's like, what are you doing? So we go to the doctor. The doctor says, we're gonna run some tests to you. Of course, I don't have insurance.
Yeah, because you're still going through financial hardship. You're bankrupt and everything.
I mean, again, the deal that I had made, it was just to survive the following 3 months.
Okay.
And so no insurance. The doctor said, we have to run this test. There is definitely something strange. I cannot tell you exactly what it is. They run some tests. During this time, I called to St. Faustina, and I told Father that if he can anoint me, because I felt like something was wrong, and he did. And I felt protected. At that moment, I felt protected immediately. So things start getting really bad in my system. I mean, forget about the results of the test or whatever. I start like going down dramatically.
So your body, you started feeling it deteriorate somehow.
Dramatically fast.
Okay.
Like fast. Like I have problems walking. I have problems talking. And it was getting like really bad, really scary.
And where were you at this point?
At home.
Okay.
Yeah. At the other place that we rent, because we didn't have a house.
Okay.
So I was going through all of this, and then the doctor called me, and he said, "You have a very serious, very very serious situation. You have what is called a aneurysm in your aorta." He says, "Normal. We all have aneurysms. Normal people will have an aneurysm of 2 centimeters.
Okay.
And when it grows to 5 centimeters, you are a candidate for surgery.
Okay.
Yours are 7 centimeters. We have no idea how you are walking. I mean, you basically a dead person.
So you're supposed to be dead at this
They
point.
only seen that on corpse." And then I said, "Okay." And I told him, "I don't have insurance. This is this is a big operation, and it can be conducted only by certain specialists because it's open heart. They need to remove your aorta, reconstruct it, put in a mechanical valve in it."
Okay.
And anyways, something like really, really big. And of course, if you don't have insurance, that's a no-no.
Yeah,
How would you do something like that, right? So I called some friends, some doctors, and then they told me how to maneuver this, and I did it. And my health was deteriorating, like almost to the end. I clearly remember one day I'm at the living room in my house. And of course, all my kids are there already. I already called everybody. I called Tony. I called Andy, because both of them, one was in College Station, the other one was in Austin. I told them, "You need to come home. There's something wrong with me. I'm going to get, an operation. So you guys come home." So everybody's there. And I'm at the living room. I can barely talk or walk. And I felt, this is the very first time I felt that I was going to die right at that moment. I felt like a little tiny oxygen inside of me. We were getting ready to go to the hospital.
Okay, so this was after the doctor called you up.
Correct. The doctor called me the night before.
Okay.
And this is the next day.
Okay.
And I'm sitting in the living room, and I asked God, I said, "Please, just help me get to the hospital. I don't want to die. I knew I was going to die, but I don't want to die here in the living room in front of my kids. I don't want to make this more dramatic than it already is.
Okay.
Please, just allow me that. Let me get to the hospital. That's all I want." And he did it. He allowed me to move and go to the hospital. So we walk into emergency room at Memorial Hermann in downtown, not downtown, the medical center.
Okay.
Well, my symptoms, obviously, they admitted me like in 1 second. I was a dead person. Then all of a sudden, this surgeon comes. I forgot one part. The CD of what the results of the test that they run to find out about the size of the aneurysm. Nancy very wisely took them to that specialist that morning.
Okay.
Took the CD. By doing that, I'm already legally, officially his patient, even if he doesn't know me, just by admitting that CD.
Okay.
It was part of the advices that my friends told me. So now I'm an emergency with all the symptoms. Obviously, who's your doctor? I said the name of this doctor. They called him, and he shows up. And this guy has a number 1 team in the nation for this specific type of operations.
Okay.
And it's funny, he walks in and he's like, "Oh, this is the guy with the extra large aneurysm."
Yes.
He said it like that. And I think it was funny. And then he's like, "Okay, well, did you already run this test? He's talking to the emergency doctor. Yes. And he's saying, yes, check. So the guy said, don't worry, you're in good hands. We're going to give you a room. Mm-hmm. I'm going to perform surgery on you in 2 days.
Okay.
Everything is going to be okay. Don't worry about it. I do this every day. In 2 weeks, you'll be out of here. No problem. It's going to be okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I can clearly hear my family going, my poor kids were next to me and my wife, and they were like all worried, like not knowing what was going to happen. And then they're listening to this doctor saying all these great things. I mean, great things, according to this situation they were living.
Yes.
And then he said, where is the result of his scan? And the doctor said, we haven't done that. And he looked at me. He's like, don't worry. They're going to run a scan on you.
Okay.
And then I'll see you in your room in 2 hours and we'll go over your surgery. Because surgery, and I'm like, what surgery? I don't even know what they were going to do to me. I didn't know anything.
Because they were talking their doctor speak. And you were just there not understanding what they were saying.
I only knew I had something in my aorta and that it caused me a heart attack.
Okay.
That's all I knew. Something that needs to be removed.
Okay.
That's all I knew. So my family goes to a waiting room. They take me to run that test, that scan.
Yes.
And it's one of those machines that you go in and there's a person in the cabin.
Yes.
And then he starts talking to you and all this and that. I don't know what he saw, that this guy ran out of the cabin.
He ran
out of the cabin. I started listening to a lot of people talking and moving. And I'm like, this is not good, definitely. I mean, the words of the doctor make me feel good for a moment. But physically, I was feeling that I was on extra time.
Okay. So you were lying there in the machine.
Yeah.
And the guy running the machine stands up and runs out of the room.
Yes.
And starts talking to people right away.
Yes.
Did you hear that they were frantic in their voices?
Yes. And then they come, put me out of the tube.
Okay.
Put me on a bed and they start running to the surgery room. I didn't know I was going to the surgery room.
So like in the movies, you're running down the hall.
They're running down the hall, take me to this place. And then before I know this, they're shaving my chest. And I'm like, what's going on? So the same doctor shows up and he said, you have 17 dissections on your aorta. You can die here in front of me.
17.
We need to operate you like right now. That's what's going to happen. Unfortunately, everything that I told you downstairs is not going to work like that. Now, the chances of survival have changed.
Wow.
We don't know. We actually don't know how you were able to walk into this hospital.
Because you didn't come via ambulance. You just hopped into your car and your family drove you there.
Yes. And we don't know if you're going to survive. But if you do, you're going to have to, you're going to need therapy when you wake up. You're probably going to wake up in a couple of weeks. And you're going to wake up and you're going to need therapy to walk again. And to talk.
Wow.
Because we're going to have to disconnect everything and put you on a bypass. This is very serious. And I want to, and at this moment, when he was saying this, I looked away and I started saying, God, where are you? Where are you? And he immediately responded to me.
How?
This is the funny part also. My communication with God until that moment has been in Spanish. I always pray in Spanish. I always talk to him in Spanish. And at this moment, he replies in English and he says, everything is going to be okay. And then I'm quiet, and he's like, everything is gonna be okay.
You heard this?
Yes. I didn't see him. I heard this. Of course, my human side kicks in, and my brain is telling me, you're imagining this.
You're hallucinating.
You're imagining. I mean, this is your system saying, hey, everything's going to be okay. And then the voice says, you're going to keep on singing for me down here.
Wow.
And then at that specific moment, I knew it was me. So I looked up. Now I look back to the doctor. The doctor he was
still talking.
Saying probably more, bad news. And then I said, everything is gonna be okay. And the doctor stopped and he smiled and he looked at his team and he said, see, this is the attitude. He has the right attitude. But I can tell in his face that he probably is thinking he doesn't know what he's saying.
He has no idea.
Right?
Yeah.
He has no idea what he's going to go through. And then he said, well, that's great. I need to bring your wife to talk to you. I said, no, please don't tell her anything. Don't leave them with the good news that you told them downstairs.
Wow.
Let's see. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to see you.
So this was such a rush thing. It was such an alarming thing that they saw in your scan that they ran you in there and they just started working on you without even telling your family yet.
Correct.
Wow.
The anesthesiologist came and he said, are you sure you don't want to talk to your wife? And I said, I am sure. And I told him, I blinked and I said, I'm going to see you soon. I was so convinced. This is not a macho thing or anything like that. I wasn't afraid at all. That moment of panic that it was for a few seconds, because remember, I was in my mind, I was already dead since the living room at my home. I was already dead.
That morning. I
was dead. When God told me everything is going to be okay, you're going to keep on singing for me down here. I took that, I was convinced. I didn't need anything else. I said, let's go. Let's do it.